forgetting all that I once loved. Feel like I'm dying. Hope is gone away. Fingers cold and numb. Eyes fade into.
I really don't think y'all understand how bad it is in the Southeast right now. We have towns that don't exist anymore. Chimney Rock is gone. The city of Asheville is cut off from the world. This is not an exaggeration. All the bridges leading into the city have been washed away. They have no food, no power, no water, no internet, no cell service. They don't even have radio. It's a complete dead zone. No one knows what's going on in there. I don't think I'm being dramatic when I say that this is a Hurricane Katrina level event. There was a woman in my town who called for an ambulance, and the ambulance got stranded. And they were stranded for 24 hours, and to my knowledge, the patient didn't make it. People are dying. They're still dying. I've been running the generator for the last 3 days, and we're starting to run out of gas. And this is on Highway 123 heading from Easley to Greenville. And this was a 1 mile long line to get gas because they were the only people we knew around that had gas left. I got all the way to the end, and they were out. They had no gas. We checked every gas station in Pickens and Easley and Liberty, nothing. And I don't know what I'm going to do when I run out of gas, I tell you that much. Try to steal some from my car maybe to keep my food cold, but even then, I don't know. This is the I-40 bridge, from Tennessee to North Carolina. It's gone. It don't exist no more either. We have people dying out here. Man, we need help. We need help.
Guys, welcome to Southern Traditions for the Southern Drawl Podcast. I wish this were better circumstances, better things to talk about, but unfortunately it is not. I've realized, however, that doing all my research and looking and digging, I can't seem to find the mainstream news media reporting hardly anything on what's going on up in North Carolina, Tennessee. Nothing about those states, nothing about the storm damage. Just very surface level stuff where they're basically making everything political and trying to support their political opponents. They're pissed off because Donald Trump showed up in Valdosta, Georgia, and decided to lend a helping hand. Oh, he made it political. He's a piece of shit. What a piece of shit. They're pissed off that people like Ron DeSantis were out on the streets, literally directing traffic and providing aid to the citizens, shaking hands, lifting the spirits of people who have lost their homes, lost their livelihoods, lost their jobs, their cars, and in some cases, sadly, lost family members, man. Lost pets, lost everything, man. Lives wrecked. But the mainstream media wants to tell us how Donald Trump's just pulling a political stunt and Kamala and Biden are doing all the greatest things. However, the citizens that are experiencing this stuff seem to be telling us a much, much different story. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time here today telling you what I think. I'm going to let you see for yourself. I'm going to let you see it through the eyes of the people that are experiencing it and living it right now, because I feel like I keep running into so many people that have no idea what's actually going on. I mentioned this stuff out in public. I was talking about this stuff at work today to several people, and they have no idea what's going on up there. I heard it's really bad. Have you not seen it? Oh, I haven't really seen much. What? I mean, oh, this is going on. That's going on. Are you sure? You've heard that? No, man, look, you guys, you got to, look, I've said it. You cannot believe the mainstream news media. If you are plugging into that for your source of information, you are doing yourself and your country a disservice. You are doing your family a disservice. They are lying to you. They are not telling you the truth. We see that over and over and over again. There is no trust to be put into or had with the mainstream news networks. Cut that stuff off. In fact, I'm at the point now, I want to start a whole campaign where we just, hey, they're all about defunding and canceling. Let's defund and cancel this mainstream news media, these networks, all this George Soros-funded crap, propaganda, biased news media, state-funded news media. Guys, because the truth is out there. You got to look for it. You got to dig for it. They're trying to bury it. They're trying to bury it all the time. Bury the truth. Keep the voices silenced. Keep those who are telling the truth about what's happening. Keep those who are spreading real information from being heard. There's whole entire campaigns on this right now. Recently, and I'm going to report on this later. In fact, I might just show you these videos as well today. Videos of John Kerry out there advocating for silencing of your First Amendment rights, silencing your voice, taking away your First Amendment rights, not allowing you to speak because what you're saying is misinformation. Who decides what misinformation is? Well, according to Bill Gates, who recently said we should silence these voices. We should do away with this First Amendment because it stands in the way of things. We should create some kind of AI robot or AI computer system that deciphers what's misinformation and prosecute those who are telling the truth that he don't like. Who programs that robot, Bill? Who designs that AI model? I'm guessing you and your billionaire friends, huh? Or how about Hillary Clinton? We need to jail these people. We need to make an example out of them so we can end this misinformation. What misinformation? Us telling the truth about you and your crimes? You and your corruption? The things you don't want us to know about? Things you don't want us to talk about? Guys, look, we're going to talk about some of that. But my main focus today, I want you guys to be aware of what's going on in the hills of North Carolina, the hills of Tennessee. I want you guys to see what's happening up there through the eyes of the people that are on the ground there and doing everything they can to make known what's happening. And number one, bigger than anything, to make known that they need help and they're not getting it. Biden administration can say whatever they want. We're doing all we can, folks. Donald Trump's a liar, folks. No, sir, according to the people on the ground, you are the liar. You are the one failing to support these people. You are the one failing to do what's right to get them the help they need. People are dying in the mountains. Guys, let's talk about it. Let's let them talk about it. Let's hear their story today, right here on the Southern Drawl Podcast. Let's get it.
I want to share with y'all some things you may not know about what's happening in the North Carolina mountains in the aftermath of Helene. Here's number one. If you have friends or family that are headed into the mountains or who live there, the looting has picked up major steam. I was advised yesterday by a county sheriff to make sure that anybody out and about is carrying, and in his words, carrying with the safety off. There are very aggressive people out there, and I'm just going to go ahead and say this. It's not because they're necessarily awful. They're desperate. Desperate people do desperate things, y'all. And why are they desperate? Because there's no water in some of these communities. We have neighbors in North Carolina with no water. And all I can say is this: the government ain't coming to save you. Not now, not ever, because they don't care about you, the people, anymore. It is the citizens who are going to have to step it up. Now, I got to tell y'all, I was floored yesterday by how my community, which is a little over an hour away from the affected areas, showed up at donation sites with water and diapers and formula and some liquid IV. I mean, y'all brought all kind of things, bleach, vinegar. You are ready to help, and we're going to take more donations today, and we're so grateful for everything because I'm going to get it into the hands of actual volunteers. And I was asking people, like, why are you bringing it to me? Some of y'all don't even know me. And they said, well, we don't trust the relief organizations anymore. Y'all, we have lost our organizations to grifters. We have lost our organizations to liars. And so we have to rely on each other because that's how this country was built. This country was built patriot by patriot. And I can tell you this, as a realtor, I know my realtors in the mountains, and I have talked to them, and they know the neighbors too. So I am getting your donations into hands that are going to get it into hands. And everybody that sent me dollars, I got teams of shoppers out, and I got receipts to prove it, because we are not grifters. We are neighbors. And the patriots that are in the mountains, if you see this, if your family sees this, hear me now. You are not forgotten by the rest of North Carolina. And if you are not in North Carolina, then there are ways that you can give. But can I just remind y'all of something? You cannot eat money. You cannot drink money. So for those of y'all that thought money was your God, and by the way, that includes our freaking elected officials, it's not your God. Told my girlfriend this morning while we were talking about this during our run, I said, tell your children, 'cause she's got grown children, this is why you keep a stash of water on hand. This is why you keep a stash of food on hand. But for those of y'all that are not in affected areas, if you can take your donated items and send it to the mountains, then send it with a friend. Make sure you're sending truckloads so that we don't overload the roads, because our first responders are overwhelmed. By the way, thank you, Governor DeSantis, for doing more for North Carolina than North Carolina's governor has. I'm very grateful for your National Guard, because we have to help each other, y'all. And I'm going to tell you something. If you will share this with somebody who doesn't know what's happening in North Carolina, they need to know. They need to know that there are entire towns gone. Chimney Rock is gone, a beautiful town. Swannanoa, gone. Montreat, gone. Other towns damaged beyond repair. That means our geography has changed, our culture is at risk, but most importantly, our people, our generational people have lost their generational homes. This ain't about your granite countertops anymore. Listen, y'all, listen. Tell somebody how they can help. I am but one resource. There are people I know all over North and South Carolina that have been gathering up goods and trucks. Somebody as far away as Massachusetts putting a truck together. Let me know. I can connect you to where to take things. The Baptists are doing a great job out of Boone. Samaritan's Purse is on the ground. I trust those two organizations. I wish I had trust for more, because I don't trust this government, but I trust the people of North Carolina. Y'all, the biggest thing you can do, pray. Pray right now. Pray fervently that people will turn their hearts back to God, and pray for a hedge of protection around all those who have seen things they should never have to see. I'll tell you one more story before I hang up this video. I had a lady come to my donation site yesterday, and her grandson is 10 years old, living in the mountains with his mother, who works in a VA hospital. They're getting the kid out today to get him home because they can finally get him out. And they're worried because he has seen things he should never have to see. When you have children that are seeing bodies on the ground and towns gone, we're going to have to answer for that one day, y'all. Please pray. Please do something. And for those of y'all that have already done something, I can't thank you enough.
Guys, we're going to honor her request right now. Her number one request, we're going to say a prayer for her. Lord, Heavenly Father, we just pray for the people of North Carolina, for the people of Tennessee, for all the people around the Southeast who have been affected by this storm. God, I just pray. I pray for these people. I pray for resources. I pray for a bonding together of unity, of strength in these communities. God, I pray for your blessing in your hands to come and heal these communities and heal these people, God. I pray that you would protect the minds and hearts of these children. Lord, all of these people that are affected, they need you right now. You see that. You know that better than we know that, God. And I just pray. I pray for your presence in their life today, tomorrow, and in the days to come, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. Guys, let me tell you something. She keeps mentioning no trust for these organizations. Why is there no trust for these organizations, huh? Why is there no trust? From everybody that's talking on these videos, you're going to see a pattern emerge. That pattern being that people are having their donations turned away, or being told they have to give their donations to specific organizations. People are being told that their helping hands aren't qualified to go and help. Simultaneously, you're going to hear people say that no one's actually doing anything except for the citizens who are showing up. These citizens are being threatened with arrest. They're being threatened in a bunch of different ways. They're being told to go away. They're being told they don't need your donations. But yet people are suffering and dying. We'd like to go ahead and thank Governor DeSantis from Florida. You, sir, absolutely stepped up in a huge way and put Florida back on its feet in a hurry, and we thank you for that. My wife and I just happened to be driving back from Texas 2 days after the hurricane went through the Big Bend of Florida. We're coming through I-10 just east of Tallahassee. We could tell the damage, the destruction through that area was incredible. But it had been cleaned up. and the roadways were opened. Power was restored. That's 2 days. So we thank you, sir, for all that you did on that front. Here's some more Floridians. A bunch of guys from Florida, guys and gals, I imagine, have made their way up to North Carolina as well as Georgia and Tennessee to help out with just everything that's going on, all the efforts to band together, man, to band together as Americans. You know, we can let this news media divide us. We can let these organizations divide us. We can let these law enforcement agencies try to divide us. And we can let these politicians try to divide us. You want to be divided? You want to play into that game? You go ahead and do that. But right now, what this country needs, especially down here in these devastated areas, is they need unity, and they need America to be America first, to put America first, to be Americans first, and to help each other out, to come together.
My name's Jonathan Howard. I'm a member of the Florida State Guard Special Missions Unit, and I'm also up here with Aerial Recovery, a nonprofit. I came up here on Sunday with Aerial Recovery before we even got activated. We flew up here, and then we got activated, which is great. I have my team up here working as well. Here's the problem. I'm going to tell you everything that's happening from the ground, what I'm actually seeing, because what they're telling you is complete bullshit on the news, and these politicians don't have a fucking clue, and they're lying. And I'll say this now, I'll say it at the end of the video. The only thing I need from this video is helicopters. If I have helicopters, I can save lives. Without helicopters, I can't reach these people. It doesn't matter how many chainsaws and trucks I got, I can't get to them. They're 10 miles in, 20 miles, 40 miles in the mountains. There's no way to get with them or even communicate with them. I am literally flying around in a civilian helicopter looking for SOS messages carved in the mud or painted on the ground, and we're dropping down and saving them. What got me fired up about this was yesterday, me and my team did the rescue of that 11-day-old baby. And all these government officials and social media, they're showing that video, that pictures and video of that rescue, and claiming that like they have some like government helped with that. And I mean, even USA, I think it was USA Today, wrote an article about it saying it was a Florida National Guard that went and got it, like with a helicopter. No, it was me, my buddy Charlie, and a civilian named Zeb with his own personal helicopter out of Wilmington, North Carolina.
That's what I'm telling you guys. Listen, the mainstream media is lying to you. You got to turn that off, man. You got to turn that off. You cannot listen to these people. You can't listen to these organizations. Everything they say is a lie. It's propaganda. They call me the liar. They call people like me the liar. They call anybody doing what I'm doing right now propaganda, liars, conspiracy theorists. Guys, it's people like us that are giving you the truth. It's people like this man right here that are giving you the truth. You're going to see a lot more of these people here on this video today. I pray you will heed these warnings. I pray that you will listen to these people, because what you're being told on your TV, it's bullshit. You got to learn that, man.
Like, without that civilian, that baby would be dead. And the old lady we went and rescued after that, she'd be dead too, because she had 1 day left of oxygen. No one was going to go get them. I will tell you, when we go up in the air, I probably see 40 civilian helicopters, and I might see 2 Blackhawks, National Guard, military, whatever they are. That's it. No one's out there doing rescues. I have my entire team up here from Florida right now, and they have no ability to go rescue these people other than what they can drive to. And the people that are in dire need, they're out in the mountains. They are completely cut off. Now, I will say, I spoke to my congresswoman down in Florida, and she's a badass, and she made a bunch of phone calls, and now we got 2 contracted 60s coming up here tomorrow, which is great. I love that, but like, I still don't understand why we don't have more helicopters. Like, we'll get a lot of work done with that, but there's no military. There's no one's doing nothing. It blows my mind. And they're not even allowing people to see what's really going on. One of our friends yesterday, they were actually escorting CNN down at Lake Lure, and they wouldn't even let CNN, the sheriff department would not let them go videotape the bad areas, how destructive it is. I don't know why they don't want to show you all that, but I mean, it is bad. I should also say, when I flew here on Sunday, they actually stopped us from going in, the sheriff department. And it was because of a bunch of politics that they were claiming was the Speaker of the House of North Carolina that was preventing us from even going in and trying to kick us out, which I have clarified today with North Carolina politicians that reached out to me, good on them, and they were like, that's complete bullshit. Speaker of the House has nothing. He wants you guys there. But this is the kind of political BS that is happening here right now. Like, everyone's trying to be in charge without taking any type of action. Nobody wants to coordinate with anybody. Everybody wants to pretend like they're being the hero while these people are literally fucking dying in the mountains. And these people, like I'm saying, these people are limited medication. They're running out of oxygen, and there's no one going to get them. The most effective way I have found to go find these people is by getting in a helicopter and flying down the rivers and roads and looking for SOS messages or people waving us down. And then we drop down and get them. We have all these people here. We have law enforcement. We have State Guard, National Guard. They have no way to go get these people. Yesterday, when I was at the Asheville airport refueling, which, by the way, the civilian is paying all this out of his own pocket. He's not even looking for a reimbursement. I think we did 4 refuelings yesterday. And that was like just in half a day's work. We're in Asheville, and I saw 2 Air Force Helicopter 60s. And I knew they were PJs just looking at them. And I went up to them, like, hey, guys, like, what are y'all doing? And, like, this is what you need to be doing. This is how I'm finding people. And they're like, we can't go. We're waiting on Title 10 orders. And I'm like, what? They can't get any authority. There's military helicopters all over here sitting on the ground, and they can't do nothing. Even my JSOC boys in Fayetteville, they can't get orders to come out here. It is just the most disgusting thing, and they're killing these people. And I don't know why they're doing it. I don't know what kind of conspiracy. I've heard so many things, whatever you want to come up with, but they are literally allowing these people to fucking die in the mountains right now because we can't get helicopters. They got money for everything else in the fucking world right now, but if they could just get us helicopters, we could fly out there and rescue these people. So I hope this video goes viral. I hope these politicians get fired. I hope people get pissed off. They'll probably kick me out of the state of North Carolina for doing this, but you know what? I don't care, because if I can save one more life for it, it's fucking worth it to me.
Wow. You got to thank that man for what he's doing. If it's worth saving one life, one more life, then it's worth it to him. To take whatever heat they want to throw at him, take whatever hate y'all want to spew off in the comments, all these propagandists. It's worth it to save one more life. That's the heart of a hero, man. I'm telling you. They need helicopters. They can't get nowhere. The roads are washed out, guys. You say, why don't these people just, why are they're sending trucks, they're sending tractors. You can't get them anywhere. You can't do anything with them. They need helicopters. Why are all these helicopters sitting on the ground? They're waiting for orders. Who issues these orders? And what the hell are they waiting for, man? Every minute that ticks by is a minute that someone's life is potentially being lost. Every single minute. Some of these guys are taking it into their own hands. Like you just heard him say, the civilian's paying for the gas for the helicopter, the guy flying. He's done paid for all this gas out of his own pocket just to try to save people, while government helicopters are sitting on the ground awaiting orders. Where are the orders, man? What in the world could they possibly be waiting for? Here's another individual, civilian, has a helicopter. He's a pilot, has his own helicopter, goes flying into the mountains, trying to rescue people. And they threaten to arrest him and run him off. Why in the hell, with all that's going on, and with the people willing to lend a hand, with people that have resources, helicopters, have the ability to get to those who are in the most dire need, why on earth would you ever turn this help away? And what in the hell compels you to want to throw a man like this in jail? Listen to this story here, guys. This is just disturbing, and this is just absolutely disgusting.
Back to the mountains, where remarkable stories of survival are now being shared days after Helene wreaked havoc in North Carolina. But one Pageland man's efforts to help are now the source of controversy. He flew his own chopper on his own dime to help stranded victims. But that man says he abandoned his rescue missions after a fire official threatened to have him thrown in jail. Well, that man now wants answers and turned to Queen City News Chief Investigator Jody Barr to help figure out what went wrong here.
This is the original post that I was reading when I decided to go up and help. It's a long post, but she's saying that her kids and family and animals are trapped. No way out, no supplies, and the only way in or out is accessible by helicopter. Limited self-service and no water since Friday morning. I thought I have a helicopter and maybe I can help.
Jordan Sidham piled food and water into his helicopter.
Guys, I just want you to pay attention to, as they show some of these clips, pay attention to the devastation, because you're not seeing a lot of this on your news media neither.
That you would have to fly to get to Black Mountain, where we were escorting people out.
Black Mountain is one of the hardest hit areas, as well as a few other counties. But look at the devastation and the destruction in some of these videos.
The cries for help from people stranded without food, water, or electricity hit social media soon after the flooding last Friday.
But my parents are stuck there. Their address is Banner Elk. They are in the first condo. If you receive this, please give me a call back. Thank you.
Sidham's phone started lighting up on Saturday with people begging for help.
I could hear the desperation in her voice. This is multiple phone calls I've received like this, voicemails, text messages, and you could hear people desperate for help.
Sidham and his son rescued 4 people on Saturday and spent the night in a nearby pilot's lounge, then decided to fly again Sunday morning.
I spoke with my son, which is my co-pilot. I said, hey, do you want to go back out and try to help today? And his response was, there's so many messages, I don't think we can't not go help.
Sidham and his son were headed up to Black Mountain. Flight tracking shows no flight restrictions in place Saturday or Sunday morning when Sidham flew through the Lake Lure Gap. But that was all about to change. The Sidham spotted an older couple waving for help, then landed in what's left of their driveway.
Hey, I want you to let me get in. You step out and go out, help her in, put her bag in the back, get her strapped in. I'm going to take her down, come back. I'll take him, I'll come back, and then I'll get you, okay?
I originally left my son, co-pilot, on the side of the mountain. It was kind of unstable, so I didn't want to put more weight in the helicopter to lift back off. So I left my son with the other victim, and I was just going to take one person down at the time. And you could hear me in the video talking through with the victims and with my son what we were going to do.
3 minutes away, Sidham spotted a group of rescuers just down the river. He landed and found someone in charge.
Told him my background experience, law enforcement, firefighting, pilot. He immediately started helping with coordination. He gave me radio frequencies to coordinate with them on, set up a landing area for me to come back with the other victim. And in the middle of the whole conversation and then blocking the road off, I was greeted by the, at that time I didn't know, but Lake Lure fire chief or assistant chief maybe, and he shut down the whole operation. So at that point I felt like the conversation wasn't going any further. And again, he asked me to leave and I said, hey, I have no problem.
If you're wondering who this fire chief was, I'm not going to put his picture up here today. I want to, but I can't confirm who it is specifically, whether he, like you just heard him say, it's either the fire chief or this is fire chief. I haven't been able to confirm which one it is, but you can look it up, and there are plenty of pictures of those two individuals, specifically the fire chief, all over the internet if you're curious about who that man is. Yeah, he needs to be held accountable. He needs to be asked a lot of questions about what happened here, why he issues the orders you're going to hear in just a second here.
Problem getting out of your area. If that's what you want us to do, we'll leave, no issue. At that point, I asked him, what was the reason I had to leave them there? And he said, again, you're interfering with my operation. I just need you to get out of the area. I said, sir,
sounds like an ego problem,
but I know how my training is, and I'm not going to leave personnel behind. I'm going back to get my co-pilot. He said, if you turn around and go back up the mountain, you're going to be arrested. I said, well, sir, I'm going back to get my co-pilot. I don't know what to tell you. And he said, I'm letting you know. And at that point, he waved for 2 law enforcement officers to come over and told me that again, if I go back up the mountain, I would be arrested.
He flew the 3-minute trip back, picked up his son, and left the woman's husband behind.
Sure, he was flooded with emotions and trying to rescue other people, and I just felt that it was best at the time to leave. So I did follow his instructions, and I had a conversation with the female victim.
Now, anybody who is wanting to go and jump on the whole, oh, well, this guy left the guy behind. Look, First off, you don't understand the situation. You don't understand just the emotions that not only this pilot and his co-pilot are going through, but all the people they're dealing with, all these officials down there that they're dealing with. This man is a good Samaritan, giving his time, his effort, his money for his helicopter, his fuel to go up there and try to rescue people, and then he's threatened with being thrown in jail for it. So you'll see here, I'll guarantee you there's not anybody in the world that regrets more than that man right there that you just heard speaking, that he didn't just go ahead and take that guy off that mountain. Yeah, I can't imagine being in that position. Anybody wants to say, I would have done this and I would have done that. Look, you don't know what you would have done. You don't know what you'll do until you're in that situation. Now, I like to think that I would, if I'd have been in that situation, I would have just said, screw that fire chief. I'm doing what I'm here to rescue people. I don't care what he says. He can throw me in jail later. But none of us really know what we're going to do in the moment. So I would just challenge you. If that's truly what you would do, then put your money where your mouth is, because there's still people up there who needs help right now.
Them before I left, apologizing and explaining. She was standing there. She heard the whole conversation, and they were both very, very surprised, very upset. The husband, as I was leaving off of the side of the mountain, at that point, separated from his wife, he was upset. I can only imagine.
Sidham and his nearly 1,400 flight hours turned his chopper around and headed back to South Carolina, passing people waving for help along the way.
As I was actually leaving to go back to get my son, the original chief or captain that I spoke to, his crew and himself, they came back over and said, hey, man, we can't tell you to go get the victim. We can't even ask you to go get the victim, but we can tell you if you come back with the victim, we'll have you a designated landing spot, and they won't. We'll make sure they don't come over here.
So there was no flight restriction when you went in?
No flight restriction when I went in. It went in place 20 or 30 minutes after the confrontation with Mr.
You feel like that was coincidental, or do you think that was because of what happened?
I don't think it can be coincidental when there has not been one in place the day before doing rescue operations, the night of, the morning of, that took place after our altercation. I think there would have never been a TFR put in place had we not had that conversation. If I had to do it over again, I would have stopped and I would have rescued as many people until they decided they were going to arrest me.
Well, for now, we've chosen not to name that Lake Lure fire official because communications in and out of that town are still difficult. We want to include his side in this story, and if and when he responds to our messages, we will include that. The good news is I saw a video of a Coast Guard helicopter landing in Lake Lure this morning, so hopefully some of those mountain rescues are underway today.
Well, hopefully that individual got back to his wife and was reunited with her. We don't know that. Hopefully that fire official does give his side of the story, because I got to say a lot of us would like to know, what on earth were you doing? You got half your crew down there trying to help people, and then you standing in the way on what seems like just a ego trip, power trip. Look, I worked in EMS. Guys, I know during these catastrophic situations or mass casualty events, there are generally protocols put in place. But I'll be honest, I can't remember a time when any of us, I haven't been in nothing like this, I'll be honest. I've never been involved in a situation, nothing like this, to this scale or magnitude. But aside from just on-scene crashes, car crashes, things like that, yeah, we want the public to stay out of the way. We're trying to keep people safe. We don't want anybody else getting hurt. We also don't want ourselves getting hurt. But in a situation like this, when you are down you are just nowhere near the number of resources that you need, I can't imagine turning down such a skilled individual that would be such an asset to your operation. You incorporate a man like that into your plan. You have the ability to help us. We need the help, buddy. We need it. Yeah. What can you do? But no, we want to threaten him with jail time. I'd love to hear his side of the story. Also, why I didn't include his face on this video, because I don't know his side of the story. I don't think there's much excuse for it, though, if I'm being honest. And while they are turning down help from civilians and telling civilians don't bring donations, don't do not donate to the victims of this situation. If you want to make donations, give it to an organization and we'll distribute it out. Don't have a lot of confidence in that, considering we've seen a lot of American money going to a lot of non-American places, especially over the course of the last year. What does your president and your vice president have to say about this? They're the ones who've been dishing out all the money. They're the ones that surely have stepped up in a big way to help with this situation, right? I mean, I'm sure they have.
I'm proud to announce a new $2.4 billion package of security assistance. We've given them all everything that we have. We're on the ground ahead of time, so we're working hard.
Are there any more resources the federal government could be giving them?
No, we've given them, we have pre-planned a significant amount of it, even though they didn't ask for it yet. I'm proud to.
So no, we got nothing else to give you. Got nothing else to give you. We just gave $2.4 billion to Ukraine. And he's proud of that, but we got nothing else to give to the victims of this storm. Then you got Kamala sits down with FEMA for what can only be described as a photo op. And they say that this is Donald Trump just shooting photo ops in Valdosta, Georgia. Okay, yeah, but you guys are doing a great job, let me tell you. You guys are doing a fantastic job. Here she is. That smug smirk on her face. She got nothing to say.
This way. This way. Madam Vice President. Thank you. Come on over. This way. Go. This way. Thank you. This way.
What a disgusting show. Absolutely disgusting. They trashed Donald Trump for showing up in Valdosta, Georgia, where he goes around shaking the hands of victims, helping to pass out aid, supplies. And they say it's all just political stunt. You know what it did do for these people in these damaged areas? These people that have lost so much of their stuff? It gives them hope. To stand with them and let them know, I am here on the ground with you. I am shaking your hand. I'm giving you support. I'm rooting for you. I'm going to help you make things better. I'm going to try everything that I can. But hang in there. That kind of support goes huge distances for people's morale. It does wonders for people's mindset in these situations. It's a morale booster. While Joe sits on behind his little desk there in some beach up around Maryland, Kamala's off at a $1 billion fundraiser with all of her rich friends, telling us about, we're keeping you in our mind. We're keeping an eye on things. Joe Biden said he'd been on the phone for like 2 hours each day. 2 hours, man. These people are going through it every minute for the last week, almost a week now. And what kind of supplies are they getting then? For not getting anything from the government, what are they getting? Is there any supplies coming in to help these people? Well, turns out there is. But not just citizens helping citizens. You got some big corporations and companies and people out there that are really trying to come through and trying to help out.
Here's an update, everybody. Special thanks to Polaris, SpaceX, and Starlink. They're sending 500 units to my shop currently. We'll be there early in the morning around 5 a.m. We're going to be taking those to the airport and ready to deploy them as soon as sunup in the helicopters to all these areas in western North Carolina. Polaris also donating a full thing of generators, local companies donating all the fuel containers they have in their inventory. I believe Interstate Cycle, lots of things happening for these stranded people up in the mountains. We're going to keep the effort going. We're getting all these messages. 1-year-old or newborns, 1 week old, need formula, gasoline, chains and chainsaws, bar oil, 2-stroke oil. That is the most important thing people are requesting now. We're going to keep flying this stuff in. Hopefully the roads are going to continue to get better. But thank you, Starlink. Thank you, SpaceX. Thank you, Polaris. Everybody for reaching out. I've got so many messages, so many helicopters coming. 407s, Sikorsky S-76, EC-120. Everybody's just sending their machines like crazy to help this effort. We're so blessed in this country to have this kind of support.
So blessed to have this kind of support. Thanks to all those guys. Polaris, Elon, you and your companies, we appreciate what you're doing there to help these people. A lot of these people can't communicate with the outside world. They got loved ones out there. They don't even know if they're alive in some cases. People have been missing. Guys, I think the last time I saw, last death toll I saw is over 130. I think I've even seen 160. I'm sure it's gone up since then. The devastation is incredible. Absolutely just mind-blowing. If you haven't seen some of this, I know a lot of people haven't. I've talked to so many people that just haven't even seen what's actually going on up there.
30 years, basically. I grew up here. I lived here, 30 years, basically. So on and off, and I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen devastation like this. It's been flooded before, but this is completely insane.
It started that Wednesday, pouring down rain. It rained Wednesday, Thursday, and she came Friday. So you can imagine all that rain, plus that wind. Everything she could move, she moved. That's some powerful water. That's some powerful water. We need more help, yeah. Whoever can come in and help, come in, because we need help.
I agree.
I would just caution you to be careful.
I'm okay.
My car's gone.
I'm okay. It's okay.
Everything's gone. It's all gone.
It's okay. It's okay.
Are your parents okay?
They're okay.
Was anybody in the gym?
It's okay. It's okay.
Hey, you're okay.
This is Chimney Rock right here. Beautiful place up in North Carolina. It's more or less completely gone at this point. This storm literally rained on these states for 2 to 3 days before the hurricane ever actually arrived. This weather map is absolutely incredible. Just a really crazy event. I have several friends and family up in that area, stretched from essentially Blue Ridge, Georgia, Copper Hill, Tennessee. My buddy Stoney up there. Cousin in Dahlonega. Another cousin up in that area, North Georgia, South Carolina area. I talked to some of these guys, and they were telling me just the amount of rain that come up through that area was just incredible. Thankfully, they were okay, my family members and friends, but just the devastation that took place in some of these towns, guys. There's a lot of people hurting, a lot of people in need right now.
All right, guys, we're out of here. Here's where the fucking road broke. We're transporting all the pets, all of our shit. This is basically what's stopping us from getting out of here.
Roads are just completely washed away in some cases. There is no roads going in or out in some of these areas. These people can't drive out. They can't be even walking out in some cases. Like these guys are trying to walk out. Incredibly dangerous. Incredibly dangerous. Some of them have a better chance of getting out than others in this sort of a way, but in other cases, it would be absolutely treacherous to attempt this.
You just stay right there.
You got cases like this where citizens are literally rescuing citizens. Nobody else there to do it.
Oh, she's there. Oh. Where? Oh my God.
Wait, she's here?
She's in the water right there.
Just an incredibly dangerous situation right here.
Oh my God.
Grab the tennis court if she can. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh, we got it. We got it. Where's the rope? Where is the rope? Who has? They have it. Field.
I'm standing up.
He's standing up. Your husband's standing up. He was right in front. He was so needy. We got her. What is her husband's name?
That's a very lucky lady right there. Lucky for a lot of reasons. Lucky she had that life jacket on.
We got her.
And lucky that she had such good neighbors. Good community people that would risk their lives to save her. God bless these people, man. So this is the failures of the federal government and their response will not be forgotten. This is the update I just got from my lineman friend in Asheville. Went up Old Fort Road where it connects to number 9. Whole area is gone. 100-foot ravine where houses used to sit. Kids walking around naked asking where their parents are at. People begging for water. Black Hawk helicopters from FEMA. I don't want to talk about the smell of the dead bodies. I'm in disbelief. Guys, keep these people in your prayers, man. Please be praying for these people. You can see here just the complete destruction of Chimney Rock. This is before the water went down. Looks post-apocalyptic, says the caption. The mainstream media and the White House are practically ignoring it. Practically ignoring it. But they have a plan. Here's Kamala telling us what her plan is for this sort of thing.
It is our lowest income communities and our communities of color that are most impacted by these extreme conditions and impacted by issues that are not of their own making. And so
women.
Absolutely. And so we have to address this in a way that is about giving resources based on equity, understanding that we fight for equality, but we also need to fight for equity, understanding not everyone starts out at the same place. And if we want people to be in an equal place, sometimes we have to take into account those disparities and do that work.
I don't understand why we can't just recognize that all of these people are Americans and all of these Americans need help. These are American people. Why has everything got to be divided with this lady? I don't get it. I don't understand her party of division. Everything's in these little subcategories and these little classes. It just don't make no damn sense. None at all. Americans are in need, and that should be the focus. But they did give these guys something. I heard today, just like when Lahaina burned up, they gave them all $600. Lahaina, a year later, is still in shambles and ruin. Here we've got North Carolina in shambles and ruin, as well as some cities in Tennessee. Some of the cities in Georgia even hit pretty hard. And they came out with $750 today. We've got $750 for you if you need it. $750. These people don't need your $750. They need water. They need food. They need medicine. They need resources. They need to get out of the woods. They need someone to come and help them get out of the areas of the freaking mountains that they cannot get out themselves. You got elderly stranded out there. You've got babies. Heck, even able-bodied men and women can't get out of those extreme environments at this point. They need resources. They need helicopters. They need people to come in and help them, bring them much needed supplies. $750. What the hell is wrong with this lady? This administration altogether. What's $750 going to do for this person? Or what's it going to do? This person is completely surrounded by water. Raging water. Now, hopefully and thankfully, the water's gone down at this point, but still, now's the time you could go in and help these people. Actually, 2 days ago was the time you could have gone in and helped these people. Destruction. Entire cities, guys. We're talking entire cities, neighborhoods, communities, families, friends, neighbors, completely wiped out, wiped off the map. Nowhere to go, nothing left, businesses gone, livelihoods, and like I said, sadly in some cases, people that aren't coming back. If you're listening to this podcast instead of watching it, we are watching a helicopter fly over some of these damaged and ravaged areas that are just in absolute destruction. Just don't even look like, in some cases you can't even tell there were cities or neighborhoods there.
Wish that I was on a rocket top down in the Tennessee hills. Ain't no smoggy smoke on rocket top. Ain't no telephone bill.
Where's the news coverage, it says? Here you can see they've cleared some of the roads off here and made it passable for some of these cars, but they're just inching down these mountains. Just trying to get as far as they can get to get out of these devastated areas. Caption says, we were trapped in Lake Lure near Asheville. No power, no phone, no service. Dwindling food supply. We only got out because some amazing souls led us through the back roads for 2 hours to help us get to a freeway before that route flooded over. Well, thankfully they got out. This is where a town used to be, guys. A beautiful mountain town. We got to help these people get back on their feet, guys. We've got to do what we can do. We've got to push our government officials to do everything in their power to redirect our tax dollars. Those are our dollars, guys. Our dollars. And we'll get to decide how to spend that however they want to, give it to whoever they want to, push whatever agenda they want to. Those are our dollars, and our dollars should be going towards stuff like this right here, to help fix stuff like this right here, to help come alongside our fellow Americans and put America first, put Americans first, to preserve the culture of this great nation, to preserve the way of life of this great nation, the businesses, the homes, the communities. $750.
Camp Runamuck is covered with water. The water has breached the road. This is self-explanatory.
Guys, this is a man watching his hard work and effort, his livelihood being washed away. Lots of videos out there of people rescuing people. Also, a lot of good people out there rescuing animals. Some good people out there, guys. A lot of good people. Americans doing good things for Americans. This is just a taste, guys. This is just a little piece. There are so many of these videos. So many of them. All of them essentially showing that there's good-hearted Americans in this country. That America is a strong, heart-filled place with people who genuinely love people, love this country, and put this country first. It should absolutely piss you off that not more is being done. I'm not saying nothing's being done. I'm not saying that. But more should be being done every day and should have been being done for a long time now to make sure that the loss of life was minimized. There's not much you can do about loss of property in some of these situations, and that's unfortunate, but things can be rebuilt. Some of our politicians coming out today saying, if we have another hurricane hit, we don't have the money to fix it or support it or do anything. We don't have the money? Why don't we just take a minute to count all the money that's been sent to overseas and been given away freely to non-American ventures, non-American interests. Just this year alone. Just this year alone. We could look back over the last 3 years, but this year alone, the countless American tax dollars, my dollars, your dollars, that we entrust these people to use and spend wisely for the interests of America. And now they're telling us they ain't got no money for us. Guess what, guys? There is a tropical system building right now in the Gulf of Mexico. In fact, it's building in almost the exact same spot that this one started at. Forming right in the same area that this one formed at. You can get on here and talk, climate change, it's climate change. No. It's a hurricane. It's forming. This happens every year. Every year it happens. Been happening for a long time. Generally, we try to be prepared for these sorts of things. You're telling us we don't have the money if another one hits? Well, get ready, Florida, because some of the models I've seen so far are saying this one could come our way. Again, we could have another one hit Florida. Where's it going to go after that? I don't know. But wherever it goes, the politicians are already setting the stage. They ain't got no interest in helping you. Why don't we trust our systems? Why don't we trust our programs? Why don't we trust our organizations? Why don't we trust these elected officials? It's for shit like this. You've heard tonight that these people, from the people that are on the ground there, the people that are actually doing something to try to help, the people that are actually trying to make things better, trying to save neighbors, trying to save friends and family, that they are not seeing a lot of help from officials, from government. People are pissed off. It's time you wake up. Guys, we're trying to wake you up here, right here on the Southern Drawl Podcast. That's what we do. We try to wake you up, bring you the truth, the stuff they're not showing you. Because we're pissed off, and we think you have a right to be pissed off. Quite honestly, you should be. You don't have to agree with my politics. I don't care if you agree with my politics. Beautiful thing about this country is we all have the right to go out and vote for who we want to vote for. We have the right to voice our opinions, to state our beliefs, and we don't have politicians do not have the right. Politicians do not have the right to call our opinions and our observations and the truth that we see with our own eyes, the things that we hear with our own ears, misinformation, just because it don't align with their agenda. Those politicians need to see their time in office come to an end. I'm going to end with this young lady right here who's stating some big truths. I apologize. She's got a little bit of a foul mouth on her. But man, I don't think I could say it any better. I don't think I could say it any better. Everything she says here needs to be in the forefront of everybody's minds. What the hell is going on in this country? I mean, what in the hell is going on in this country at this point? Let's take a listen. This is, she goes by Shipwreck. You can check her out at Shipwreck Show.
Red October, 2 days away from the start of beautiful October 2024. Shit's already gotten kind of wild, right? Not one more penny better go to another country until our states look like this hurricane never happened.
I agree.
Kentucky staffer says the deadly Hurricane Helene was God's way of punishing MAGA. She looks pleasant. Some shit going on. There is flooding in areas that are in the mountains. There are towns that once existed in the great state of Tennessee no longer exist. It's like they weren't even there. And there are people calling for help for other people on social media because a lot of these towns They don't have any communication. They don't have roads in and out. They don't have food. They don't have water. What did we do last week? Let me tell you what we did last week. Last week, we invited, the president of Ukraine to the floor of our congressional halls, and then we gave that little mother fancy pants like $50 billion more dollars. But don't worry, Kamala, she's
But we ain't got no money for Americans.
Harris, she tweeted out that she is ready to step up and help these states get back to the way that they were. They are monitoring the situation very closely. From her $1 billion San Francisco sold-out fundraiser with all of her billionaire friends, probably watching it from there. Where the fuck is Oprah? I'm not even going to talk about Oprah. Did you know that there is 150 celebrities that live in the great state of Tennessee and the surrounding areas, including your Lord and Savior, Taylor Swift? Her family home's in Tennessee. She ain't tweeted out, she ain't posted about, she ain't done nothing for the people that are struggling in that state. Her last Instagram post was about how she was going to slap the knob of Kamala Harris because she did her research. Not that anybody should be fucking surprised. This is just one more jab to the ribs of the pores. I don't know who else is from the great state of Tennessee and owns $1 billion mansion with his little wife and their little kids. Oh, Brad fucking Paisley. Yeah. Remember when Brad Paisley wrote a whole song for Ukraine? And then went over there and played it for him on his little chair. We're coming into Red October, and it is election season. If you think things are bad now, they're probably going to get worse. They're probably going to get worse. But I don't think it's going to be like some big, huge national event. We're like frogs in a slow boil. Wake up one week, and you'll go to buy some eggs, and they'll be $25 a carton. Literally, in a week, you won't be able to afford shit. It'll just happen, but it has slowly been building up. Right?
It is building.
Been slowly boiling to death. And then the election's going to happen. Trump's probably going to win. But then they have to get it certified.
Ain't that the damnedest thing?
And unfortunately, we're going to be caught in the middle of it, dumb fuckers.
Wow, man. She got a mouth on her, but at the same time, goodness gracious, a lot of truth there. All these anti-American billionaires living in their billionaire mansions and their billionaire agendas while they put everything except America first. She got a good point, man. Good point. America, you got the right to be pissed off. We all have the right to be pissed off. And if any of this pisses you off, I hope you leave me a comment down below. We'll talk about it. If you're pissed off about anything I said, I really don't care at this point. Quite honestly, if you can't accept the truth, that's a you problem. I will tell you this. Guys, please be in prayer for these people. Please be in prayer for the people that are suffering up in North Carolina, for the people that are suffering in Tennessee. Families that are broken up, lost loved ones, children that have seen horrific things. Be in prayer for this country. This country needs a lot of prayer right now. Even them socialist billionaires she was just talking about, they need prayer because they are absolutely lost at this point. Guys, that's all I have for you tonight. I would urge you to turn off that mainstream media. Let's defund that propaganda machine and let's start digging in and listening to real people talk about real things. We need your support. We need your support to get this message out so we can get the truth out. Share this stuff so that more people see it because it's mind-blowing to me just how devastating this event was and how few people actually know what's going on up there. How few people have any idea about any of this stuff that you've seen right here. And this was just a few videos. There are thousands of them, thousands of these videos of the people that are actually, and I guarantee you there are thousands more are going to come out because there are still people up there that don't have access to cell service, internet, power, any of that are probably taking videos of everything they're experiencing and everything they've seen. Let's hope those don't get buried at some point. We hope to eventually see so that we truly do know everything that's going on and we can sympathize with these people. We can rally around these people and we can lift them up in prayer, lift them up in support. Don't let these people tell you that supporting your fellow American, that going and having boots on the ground and shaking their hands and meeting them face to face where they are in their struggle makes you some kind of political radicalist or makes you some kind of criminal. They want to throw you in jail for helping your fellow American? Hey, man, throw me in jail. Well, we won't forget. We won't forget those of you that pulled that stunt. And your time will come. Their time, these politicians, needs to come really soon. All these crooked politicians that want to put America last, their time is coming in November. Guys, it's like 30 days away. 30 days away. As devastated as everything is in the Southeast right now, we still have to make our vote count. We still have to show up and vote, because if we don't get these people out of office, it's going to be more of this stuff right here for all of us in the future. Show up on November the 5th. Make your vote count. No matter where you are, no matter where you're at, no matter what you're dealing with, make that a priority. Voting these people out of office is paramount. It is of the utmost importance. But guys, that's just what I think. That's what we got for you here on the Southern Drawl Podcast, here on Southern Traditions. Until next week, guys. Well, not next week. We're actually going to be, there's so much going on. I feel like at this point, we have to actually push this stuff out a little bit more often. I'm going to try to get back on here tomorrow, maybe even the day after that. We'll see. My work schedule fills up and keeps me running. But guys, I appreciate your support. I appreciate you watching the video. I thank you for that. I just pray for these people up there. I pray that you'll pray for them as well. Like I said, we'll talk to you soon. Until then, be free. Be blessed, guys. Peace.